Hey there, my name is Elisha, and today I'll be teaching a transition pose from how to jump back from Bakasana, also known as crow pose. We often see this transition in Ashtanga and Vinyasa type yoga classes, and I would recommend that you feel very comfortable with crow pose before trying to jump into this. I'll workshop crow before we get started with this practice, and then I'll give you some tips and tricks of how to master the jump back, it's a full body energizing movement. It's almost as if you're imagining yourself as being an archer and you're pulling back an arrow, and then immediately when you snap it back and let it go, it'll fly off. And it's really this energizing movement that helps us jump back. So first, I'll demonstrate what it looks like. You're going to start in a downward facing dog. Hips reaching high, have maybe a nice little bend to the knee to lift the hips up higher, gaze towards the navel. Take a few breaths here, maybe pedal out the feet just to waken up the hamstrings. Then start to bend the knees, look towards the front of the mat, and jump your feet to the outside of the mat. Meet me in Malasana, Yogi Squat. So from here, you're opening the chest up. Maybe use your elbows to open the knees up a little bit deeper. We're sinking the hips here, opening the chest, gaze is towards the front of the room. Maybe you shift your weight side to side. This will help just get a little bit more movement in the hips here. So once you're ready, you're going to place your hands about shoulder distance apart on the mat. Start to lift up your hips. And the intention here is that you're trying to place your knees on the upper part of your triceps to get a little bit more height in Bakasana. So lift up on your toes, place your knees on the back of your triceps, and then start to shift your weight forward. Keep your gaze forward. Engage the core. Maybe try lifting one foot at a time to play around with your balance. If that feels good, then move towards your Bakasana. One foot goes up, then the other goes up, and stay here. If that feels good, jump back on your exhale into your high plank position. Rinse it out with a vinyasa, upward facing dog, and then a downward facing dog. All right, so that is what the jump back looks like. A couple of tips just to kind of get the feeling of what that pose is going to look like. It will also start in a supported way first. So lie on your back. We're going to workshop a Bakasana on our back. So bring your hands straight ahead, and then using your lower abdominals, lift your knees up and try to make them reach your triceps. Engage the core here. Feel your back rounding as you curl your knees in towards your triceps. And then lower the knees down. And then you can lift the hips up, just a counter stretch, and lower the knees, or lower your hips down. So now, rock and roll back up. We'll do that on the other side, do the Bakasana. So again, you can start in Malasana, you can also start in a downward facing dog. That's my favorite way to do this. Starting from a downward facing dog, bend your knees, look to the front of the mat, step or hop your way so that your feet are on the outside of your hands. Sink back into our yogi squat. We've been here before. Take a few breaths here, maybe shift your weight side to side, open the hips up, and then settle back in. When you're ready, place your hands on the mat. Start to lift the knees to the back of your triceps, gaze a few inches in front of your hands. Start to shift your weight forward. Grip into the mat, especially in your thumb and your pointer finger. Your fingers are spread really wide here. This is really important to protect the wrist. Maybe lift one foot at a time to play around the balance. Once you feel good with that, start to lift up both feet. Hold it here. With an explosive movement on your exhale, press back, arms are bent. Rinse out the vinyasa, upward facing dog, the hips drop, and then a downward facing dog. Hips reach up towards the sky, and then bend your knees. Come back to a neutral position. Great job. Practice that a few times. If you don't get it the first time, totally okay. This is a pretty advanced transition. I would definitely recommend that you feel really comfortable with your Bakasana before trying to jump into this posture. And if it doesn't feel comfortable with the jump back, you feel like your knees are getting stuck on your triceps, maybe try stepping one foot back at a time just to start to get that movement. And then over time, as your confidence and your strength improves, you'll be able to jump back and do the full movement. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe for more videos. I'll be posting new videos every single week on how to get into these more advanced postures, as well as some full-length classes in the future. Let me know what you'd like to see. Again, my name is Elisha. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you.